Look, it's 2022 and I have to be honest with you, things have changed. In the 20 years that I've been a dating coach, the dating landscape has changed tremendously, in particular with regards to online dating. It used to be weird and creepy, now it's as mainstream as it could possibly get. And I hear it from guys all the time, it's made dating more difficult, it's ruined dating, etc. Is that actually true, or has it actually made dating easier? Let's get into that right now. So before we get into the truth about online dating, I want to share with you a couple anecdotes from my own personal experience. First one is that on my boot camps, I'm getting a higher percentage of virgins than I have before. But at the same time, I'm getting a higher percentage of guys who have slept with 50 or more girls in the past than I ever have before. And some of my top students nowadays are sleeping with almost a girl a day. So it's really a case of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, so to speak. At the same time, there's been a dramatic shift in how people are actually meeting their mates. For example, a 2019 Stanford article reported that 39% of heterosexual couples reported meeting their partner online compared to 22% in 2009. So it's up over 10 years prior. And as another example, a 2021 British article reported that, quote, 18% of couples met their present or most recent partner through work, and 25 to 29-year-olds are most likely to meet their partner on a dating app. So as you can see, there's been a shift from meeting people in person, at school, at work, through friends, to meeting people through dating apps. So are these two things related? Is there a reason why meeting people through dating apps has led to the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer? What's going on in dating, and how can we best utilize this information? So let me give you my theory on why this is all occurring. And this is, I suppose, pure conjecture, but it is educated conjecture from someone who's been on the front lines of dating over the last 20 years. So what's happened primarily is that technology has changed the way we live and the way that we date. Go back to 2002. 2002, most people's jobs didn't have to do primarily with the internet or online things yet. And also online dating was very new. It was considered weird, it was considered creepy. The idea was that if you did online dating, you'd get murdered by some weirdo, whatever, right? Fast forward about 10 years to 2012, a lot more of life had moved online and online dating was becoming mainstream. Fast forward 10 more years to 2022, and now more people are meeting online than through any other endeavor, and a lot of people are working remotely. And this has only been exaggerated in its impact with COVID and people working remotely even more than ever before. And so what's happened is, instead of people spending most of their time around a close-knit group of friends or coworkers that is their social circle in a way almost like their extended family and forms a lot of their relationships, now people are a lot more spread out, a lot more remote, and they're conducting everything from transactions, online banking, purchases, all the way to dating online, and it's become very mainstream, it's become very normal. And now there's a whole generation of women and men who have grown up in a time where online dating was never considered weird, it's considered the most normal thing in the world. Now, why is it that online dating is creating such a disparity? Well, what happens with online dating is that most guys do not even get looked at, but the very top guys can get incredible, insane amounts of matches. Think of it this way. If you are in a high school, the star quarterback gets to date the hottest cheerleader, but he only gets to date her, or maybe, if he's lucky, maybe her and then one other side chick or something like that, right? With online dating and the anonymity it provides and the exposure it provides, a guy with a good online dating profile and good game can easily date a different girl every single night of the week, even multiple girls in the same day. So the scale that guys who are really good at game can achieve has increased dramatically, which means that if the same amount of girls are having sex, the guys who are not as good are getting proportionately far less. So this is a guess. Again, pure conjecture, but just to give you kind of an idea in a general qualitative sense, you might say that in 2002, hypothetically, 80% of people were meeting in real life in some way, 10% roughly in some kind of a cold approach or random encounter, and maybe 10% online. Those numbers could be off, but the proportions roughly accurate. Fast forward to 2012, I would guess maybe it's now 60% meeting in real life in some kind of social circle context of some kind, maybe 20% through some sort of cold approach or random encounter, and now about 20% from online. Fast forward to 2022, now you're down to about, I would guess, again, just my guesses, just my estimates from what I've seen, 40% roughly meeting in the real world in some way, 15% from a random encounter, and maybe about 45% from online dating or something online of that nature. So as you can see, it's a dramatic shift, and online dating has become from very obscure 20 years ago to the single main way people are meeting today. So what can we take away from this demographic shift that we've seen? Well, if you look at who has been the most benefited and who has been the most hurt by this shift, essentially the people that have been the most hurt are the people who decided they wanted to live their lives without thinking about dating. Right? They wanted to just become successful in their career or be around the right kind of people, and they were hoping love would just happen. Sparks would just fly, they would marry their next door neighbor or meet someone at the office. Those people have definitely been damaged. Now, is it still possible for that to happen? Yes, it is, but it's become dramatically less likely than it used to be, as we can see with the percentages of how people are meeting their spouses, how people are meeting their dates, how people are meeting their sexual partners. So, what has happened? It's a shift from substance, right? From a world where you're dating people who know you well, who see you day in, day out, who get to know the ins and outs of you, and who have a deep understanding of who you are, to a shift to presentation, right? How can you present yourself on a cold approach? How can you present yourself in an online profile? And along with that, there's a shift from comfort, the deep get to know you parts of game, to value, at least up front. Now, it is still necessary that you do have substance if you want long-term dating at least. Because even if you meet someone online or meet them on a cold approach, as they get to know you, your actual persona is still going to be who has the relationship with them. And if you don't have substance behind your presentation, people will break up with you. You will end up alone again in the end. But if you have substance without presentation, if you are a truly cool, good guy, but you don't know how to put that forward online, on a cold approach, if you happen to be working remotely and not around women in your workplace especially, you are simply just not going to meet women because they don't have any way to be exposed to who you are, how cool you are, how relatable you are, how much value you would have to offer to their lives. Okay, so it used to be for 10,000 years of human history that we were in our tribes, we met people in our tribes, the women knew the men they were meeting, and that was how things were done. There's been a dramatic shift, 10,000 years of that. In 20 years, it's shifted, blink of an eye, drop in the bucket in terms of time, it's shifted dramatically. It's shifted completely on its head, and the world is different. So things have changed. You no longer have the luxury as a man of just being a quality guy and hoping a girl will somehow find you, because girls have so many options in their face every single day, even every single hour of the day. A girl can get on Tinder and swipe on high quality guys, high value guys, attractive guys, any minute of her entire life now. So you are competing in a broader pool, and you need to be playing in that pool. You need to be doing something to put yourself in front of women, because so many other men are actively putting themselves in front of her eyeballs, are actively putting themselves into her experience. All right, so you need to learn dating as a skill. The other huge takeaway from this is that online dating is absolutely here to stay. Online dating is absolutely prevalent, and if you're not participating in that, you are missing out. If you don't have an online profile, you're missing out. If you haven't taken the time to make your online profile the best you can, you are also missing out, because most guys do not get results online. Some guys get insane results. However, most guys with the proper effort can be in the category that gets results. What do most guys do though? They put up a half-assed online profile, they get no results with it, and then they give up. And that's good for you, as long as you're not one of those guys, because that's one more guy who you don't have to compete with, one more guy who's not succeeding. But you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy who is participating in this new sort of like gold rush of dating opportunities that is online dating. You want to be at the forefront, you want to be good at it. So treat dating as a skill, treat online dating as a skill, and definitely be a part of this growing online dating market. It's here to stay. If you want to be really successful with women, it is one of the easiest options that you have available to you. So that's the truth in brief about online dating, how important it is. And because it is so important, I'm going to be doing a lot more content about it in the future. And what I suggest you to do is leave your comments below and leave your questions below. What topics would you like me to cover? What questions would you like me to answer as I do explore online dating further? Because I'd love to tailor the content to what you need most. And obviously there's going to be a lot of content coming on how to be successful and effective at online dating. So that goes without saying, but post your questions and comments below. Look forward to seeing them. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks again.